Labo foes, welcome to Happy Doomsday. Got a lot to chat about, a lot of fun things to chat about. I'm here with the brilliant, the one and only Yusuf from Y2K Illustrations. How you doing, my bro?
Yo, bless, bro. What you saying, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Happy to have you, bro. Honestly, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, fair. Like literally, we're just like I think I just saw your video with Kibla, who I'm pretty good friends with.
Yeah.
Um, and I was like, yo, this guy's cool. I
Hey.
think we'll get along. So I was
Hey.
like, yeah, let me just give this guy a comment and say, yeah, we should like collab. And here we are, you
I,
know.
I I also sort of saw your stuff through Kibler and them, and you know what you give off like I can tell we grew up watching like similar things and similar people. I can see a lot of like I don't know if you I might be I can see a lot of sort of like early 2010 YouTube commentary in you. Does that make sense? Or am I over?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I knew it. I could so
bro,
see
trust me,
it.
man.
I can see it, bro. I can see it all over you, bro. I can hear it. I can hear it, which is good because it's all over my sort of my opinions as well. That was like the golden age of YouTube, like movie YouTube commentary. I feel like, do you know what I mean?
No, wallah, bro, trust me, man. Like, oh, this was like me in primary school, bro. I listened to like people like I don't know, Jeremy Johns, like like
Yeah,
the
of
main
course, bro.
YouTuber,
Yeah, Jeremy
Jeremy
Jones is the
Johns,
goat of it, obviously.
Chris Stuckman, like Collider video before like their team split up. The
Yeah,
OG Collider video.
bro. I'll tell you how old I am, bro. Fucking
Schmoes knows.
before even Collide, bro. I was on the AMC when they were doing
Oh
it in
jeez.
AMC.
Oh bro, you're an OG man.
Yeah, bro, I'm an OG with them, bro. Oh, I even remember, bro. Like, yeah, because like Campier and Schnepp and all of those guys, man. Do you remember them?
Oh, rest in peace, man. That guy was like one of
Rest
my
in peace,
favorites
John
as well.
Schnepp, bro. Honestly, it's you know what's crazy? John Schnepp. I've never met the dude, but this brother, I don't think has any realization of how much of an impact he has had on a lot of young comic book fans and the way they sort of think about stuff. Because the dude's
Yeah.
influence through Collider and AMC is like untouchable. Plus, like he's super talented director as well in his own right. Like that's Superman Lives, all of that stuff. Anyways, we're getting way ahead of ourselves, bro. We've got a lovely list of topics to talk about today. First up, we got some Harry Potter to talk about. A couple Harry Potter news tidbits to go through. How overall, just really quickly, Yusuf, what are your thoughts on the show coming into it? Like, how do you feel about the Harry Potter show?
Um, so my tastes of like I guess when it comes to movies and TV shows have very much drastically changed the past couple of years.
Okay,
Um, I'm I'm not excited, but I'm also like not loathing it. It's just one of them things where like if it
yeah.
comes out, if it piques my interest, the trailer's good, I'll give it a watch. Yeah, like yeah, I'm open-minded to it to be fair, but I'm not
It's
like
gonna be one
craving
of those
it.
shows that's unavoidable, bro. Do
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's gonna be unavoidable because it's like HBO, obviously
yeah,
in the UK, but as well, it's like going to be the biggest thing they do on TV when they're dropping. They're going to be such event, like it's going to be such event TV. So
yeah.
I feel like, bro, someone like you who's in the zeitgeist and who's got his touch on media, there's no way you don't watch, bro.
We'll see in it.
We'll see, we'll
Like,
see. Well, anyways, whether or not this casting room is going to lead you towards doing it or not, we shall see. John Lithgow is apparently closing in on a deal to play Albus Dumbledore. Now, I was when I heard this news yesterday break, I was so shooketh because originally the rumor was Mark Strong, and I was growing accustomed to that. Originally, also I didn't see that, but then I started to like stay with it a little bit, and it grew on me a little bit. This John Lithgow room has come completely out of nowhere. He's American, which I didn't compute, didn't think that they were even like sort of looking at Americans for these roles, anyways. Let alone John Lithgow. And also, John Lithgow's like 80, and they want to do this show for the next 10 years. So whether or not we can have Dumbledore, who in the season 6 is going to be moving a lot, you know, when he's in the cave with Harry. Like, there's a lot of movements later on with Dumbledore. So whether or not we can have a John Lithgow 6, 7 years down the line be able to pull off some of these stunts, I don't know. Vibe wise, he gives me a Dumbledore vibe, like the whole silly, quirky, sort of like a bit out there vibe, but yet still can come in with some of that wise gravitas. I always say that sort of Dumbledore is really silly and like sort of a bit out there, and we don't really get that much in the movies. And if we can kind of play into that a little bit more in the show, it'd be really cool. And I think John Lithgow can do that. Just my thing is the age. I didn't see coming, and plus he's American. What do you think, bro?
Um, yeah, I think to be fair, I think he looks like he can play the role of Dumbledore. To be fair, but yeah, I think I'm in the same wavelength as you. He's like again, if it's gonna be a 10 plus year series, we don't know what's gonna happen. But I'll remain open-minded with the casting. Again, even if he's American, he can pull off a UK accent pretty easily, I'm sure. Um,
We'd
I'm sure.
love to hope that, bro. But like, how many Americans have we seen butcher butcher an English accent?
Fair point. But I think I don't know. Again, it's when it comes to casting, I think it's still early days on how everything's going to be played off. So, um, I'm remaining neutral right now with the casting for him as Dumbledore. Is it 100% confirmed, or is it like just like is
So
he
it's
on?
probably the strongest rumor we've gotten in terms of casting from this show.
Right.
Like
Okay.
it's coming out of Hollywood Reporter, it's coming out of Variety, and it's like that they're closing in on a deal. So it's looking pretty likely that he's going to be our Dumbledore.
Interesting. Okay. Cool. I'll remain neutral as of right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, it's a bit weird. It's a bit weird. Which I'm like, again, man, I'm so open when it comes to this show. Like I'm a really big Harry Potter guy. The movie's a big part of a lot of people growing up, so similarly to me as well. Especially being the age I am. But I'm not mad at them doing them again. I'm really not. Like I think there's room to play with so much that we weren't able to play with in the movies. I get how iconic the movies are, and some of the actors playing those roles have become so iconic and so like intrinsically linked together. But we got to move forward. And if it means a whole new generation gets to enjoy the Harry Potter series, and we also get a new take and a new sort of perspective on it, and there's much more to play with, I'm down for it. Just the John Lithgow thing is, I don't know, man. It's out there because it's really, it doesn't feel like it's a choice that is sort of set up to for the long term. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't feel like a
Yeah.
choice where they're thinking we're gonna need this guy for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And I've been told like this is going to be more faithful to like the books as well.
Yeah,
And
so each
again,
season they're like adapting a whole book.
yeah. So again, I think with books you can have more character time as well. So I'm sure
That's
Dumbledore
true.
has a bigger presence in the novels as well.
Yeah, a hundred
So
percent, 100%. Plus, we get a lot more of
um,
his backstory in the last season and all of that stuff.
yeah. Have you read the books by any chance?
Yeah, man, multiple times. I was a
Nice.
freaking
Okay.
loser at school, bro.
Right. To be fair, like I'm very. I've been reading fantasy like the past 4 years. I've been addicted to it. I haven't
Yeah.
touched the Harry Potter books yet, so
Do you know
I'll
what it is with the
probably
Harry Potter
prep.
ones, though? I also think you have to, it's like a thing of like, I don't know if I would recommend it for people that are like established readers and haven't read the Harry Potters to go back in
Right.
adulthood and go back and read them. Like you could still probably take something away from it, but I just feel like I don't know. There's you're gonna miss out on something because you weren't a kid while reading it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. I get you. Yeah, it's one of them ones.
It
Like I
really
think
is
it's
one of
like a
them
lower
ones.
grade of the language grade is lower compared to like
Yeah,
adult
yeah.
fantasy.
Plus, it's a bit
Right.
like it's also a bit like if you ever try. Have you ever tried to like? Are you a Star Wars guy?
Oh, bro. Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
Okay, love that
I'm
answer.
excited.
I love that answer. So it's like a bit like with Star Wars, where it's like if you grew up loving Star Wars, and then you try and introduce someone new to, I don't know if you've ever tried doing this, and you try to introduce someone new who's never seen a Star Wars movie, and you show them the original trilogy, they're just like, "What the hell is this?" Do
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And I feel like it's a bit like that with the book, with Harry Potter books as well. Not to maybe the Star Wars extent, just because of how much a lot of people might say that movie has aged. But it's a thing of like if it's perfect when you sort of like academically hit your age and the time in the world where it was dropping, and it is a whole thing with it.
It's
I
like
don't
you had
know.
to be there to experience it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, not even just had
Yeah.
to be there, but I also think you have to be of that age, really like capture the magic. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like
Yeah.
it's like nothing will ever top your love for Star Wars now because of you grew up with that crap. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, facts, 100%. Well, actually, yeah, you're right. Like, basically, I tried to read the what's the Greek mythology fantasy series, man, with the kids.
Percy Jackson.
Yeah, okay. So I tried reading The
Yeah,
Lightning Thief, the first book,
yeah.
about 2 or 3 years ago,
I'm literally
and
staring
everyone's
at that
like,
book
yeah,
now.
bro. Everyone was like, yeah, bro, this is my childhood. This book is epic. There's like,
Yeah,
and there's like, you know how it's like Greek gods. I'm like, bro, this is gonna be like in my head. I'm like, bro, this is gonna be, God of War. Have you played God of War?
yeah.
I'm like, oh, bro, Zeus is gonna be here and
Oh,
Hades and
you thought
Ares,
Percy was gonna
and
rip
I'm
someone's
like,
head off like Kronos.
probably not like that, but like the scale, like you feel
Yeah,
like the presence of all the gods. But like this was just like a kid's adventure book, and I'm like,
yeah.
this is not really for me.
Wait, how old were you when you read Lightning Thief for the first time?
Like 21.
That's why, bro. That's why, bro. Do you know, like, the Percy Jacksons especially were written for like neurodiverse 12-year-olds.
Oh wow, okay,
They
fair.
were written for like
Yeah.
12-year-old kids who like have like are like dyslexic leaning and have trouble like sticking to maybe like a lot meatier books. So it was written in like pace where it's like you can kind of keep up with it for these young readers.
Right. Okay, I saw the themes of that with Percy in the books
Yeah,
because he couldn't
yeah.
read properly. Yeah, okay,
Literally,
that
yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So a big part of
makes
that was
sense.
like trying to get those kind of kids to hop on board and read it. I was into the Percy. You know what it is as well? I think for me as well, because like I was I was like a really like easily distracted kid and very like movable and excited as hell. So those Percy Jackson movies were like books, sorry, were good for me because they were just so easily digestible
Right. Okay. Fair.
when
Fair.
I was a
Fair play
kid.
then.
Yeah, one of
Fair.
them
Yeah.
ones. Well, we got another piece of Harry Potter casting rumors. Do you remember the first movie? Have we watched the movies?
The last time I watched the Philosopher's Stone was, I think, 2022 Halloween. You know how Cineworld
Okay.
like replay a
Yeah,
couple
yeah.
of, yeah. So that was the last time I watched it. Yeah, 2022 or
Okay.
23. Yeah.
2022, 23. Okay, when they do the screenings during Halloween.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So some of the rumors coming out now. So one of the biggest rumors, I mean, since the show has sort of been sort of birthed into existence, is who's going to play Voldemort, and a lot of the sort of people are clamoring for Cillian Murphy to come in and play Voldemort. It's gotten a lot of steam, but actually there are rumors coming out that he might be playing someone, but it's not actually Voldemort. It's in fact Professor Quirrell, who I don't know if you remember Professor Quirrell. He was that like stumbling
The, the,
guy with the
the
turban,
tavern.
with
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, with Dumbledore at the back of his head, basically, with Voldemort at the back of his head, basically. Not the first person you think of when you maybe think of Cillian Murphy, Oscar winner, Oppenheimer, you know, Thomas Bloody Shelby. But what do you think, Yusuf, when you hear Cillian Murphy possibly playing Professor Quirrell in the first season?
I felt like with first reactions, I was like, oh, why is he playing such a like a B-list, C-list character in the series?
Yeah.
However, the fact that it's a TV show, and I'm assuming the first book will cover like the full season,
Mm-hmm.
Professor Krill will probably be the entire season. So I feel like he'll get enough screen time and limelight in the show of him being a protagonist character, antagonist character in the story. So
Yeah.
yeah, like again, I'm very much open-minded to it with him. Again,
You
it's
know,
Cillian
and
Murphy.
you're
Like
right, bro. That's a good point because not only does
he
he
can like
have
enhance the character.
100%. He'll bring something to it 100% and will add so much value to the character just because it's Killian Murphy, just by that alone. But I agree with you, bro, because Professor Quirrell is pretty integral to that first book and that first what will be that first season. But he was pretty much a one and done. So someone like a Killian Murphy, that could be pretty attractive to where you're like, I can have a really integral part of this sort of production and come in and really sort of make my mark and have an awesome performance and also play a Professor Quirrell, which is a character that I haven't really kind of played. I mean, like Thomas Shelby is that just very alpha male sort of like rugged dude. Oppenheimer also sort of like intellectually out there and he's still a dominant man in every kind of scene he's in. Even the Dark Knight trilogy, yes, he's playing sort of Scarecrow, but and like he's a bit more of a sort of slender nerd, but still at the same time, he's kind of dominating and sort of eerie. Professor Quirrell is not that at all, and which is why it's such a shock that he has Voldemort at the back of his head. So Cillian Murphy, that's interesting as hell. Like when I don't see something coming and I don't know how it's going to look like, I'm so intrigued by that. And because it's a one and done, it's pretty integral. And then he doesn't really have to come back for, I don't know, a 6, 7 year commitment. I see this happening. I see this happening.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat as you. I think, yeah, I think he can pull it off. It will be one of those things where it will be like a mad glow up from the first film.
Oh, bruv, 100%,
Yeah.
100%, 100%. And plus, it'll just be like, it'll be cool to see, like, maybe if they keep the trend of, like, because he's obviously the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher in the first one. And I don't know if you remember in the movies where every year it was a new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher.
Mhm.
And that was kind of the trend where it's like it's the cursed position at Hogwarts. Maybe if they're bringing in obviously a new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher every year, kind of have that be where they like sort of splash the cash on their A-lister. Do you know what I mean? Where like they have Cillian Murphy coming in for Quirrell for the first season. We can have like whatever Hugh Grant coming in or whatever for like Lockhart for the second one, and that's where they have the cachets of their sort of like big stars being in these like one and done roles, like Defense Against the Dark Arts, where you don't really need to commit yourself to 8 years. You can just do the one in season and go kind of thing.
It'll be fun for the fans as well to be like, oh, who's gonna appear in
Yeah,
the next
exactly.
season?
Who's the big guy that's gonna get to it? Like exactly, 100%. And because as well, I just feel bad for a lot of these actors coming into these roles because previously they were being played by literally the creme de la creme when it comes to like British actors. Like the Harry Potter movies, like made an active choice of like we are going to cast the best British actors of all time. We're gonna make sure we like populate these films with like literally like acting royalty. So like now any character, no matter how small it is, you're gonna think about like whoever's playing like for example bloody Lockhart, who's only in it once, is gonna think, oh my god, I've got to sort of like play a character that Kenneth Branagh played. Do you know what I mean? There's gonna be that all the time. So like when you have someone like a Cillian Murphy who can come in just for one and done, and then kind of continue that trend on with those Defense Against the Dark Arts teachers, I think it just bodes well for the show.
Oh yeah, facts, 100%.
You know what I mean? Sweet, bro, sweet. All right, moving on from Harry Potter, man, because we talking a lot of Harry Potter right now. Let's talk some Batman. Let's talk
Oh,
some Batman. Let's talk more specifically. Let's talk Batman too, bro. What were your thoughts on the first Matt Reeves Batman, bro?
bro, that was peak cinema, man. That was 10/10.
Yeah, bro.
What was the best Batman film ever, bro? It was so. Bro, I saw the IMAX opening night, Leicester Square.
Yeah,
Oh my god, me and my
amazing.
friend since high school are like the biggest Batman fans ever, right? We
Sweet.
can quote like the movies, the cartoons, the games,
Oh yeah,
right?
you must have been swimming at all the girls.
Oh, literally, bro. It was
Yeah, you guys are
we,
probably
we were them.
hot topics. Yeah.
We were them, bro. And like once we heard like the monologue with Bruce Wayne, Patterson talking at the beginning. And
Yeah,
it's like
yeah, yeah,
Thursday, October 3rd.
yeah,
Bro, I was like, I'm so straight away.
yeah.
And like when he's walking with the boots in the tunnel with the surround
Bro,
sound, bro, I
it's
was like,
they got it, bro. As soon as you open up on the sort of like the rain falling into like that like busy square in Gotham, and you just see it, and you're like, this feels like no Batman movie has ever felt more like the animated series than the
yeah,
Batman. Do you know what I mean, bro?
oh
It
yeah,
felt like that show, bro, which is so important to us. But also it felt I was gonna say a lot like two comic book runs I had in mind, which felt the closest to the Batman. Probably
year one.
Court of Owls, and Hush for me.
Wow, okay. Interesting
And
takes. I did not expect Hush and Court of Owls. Okay, fair,
no,
fair, fair.
100%, 100%, especially the way Gotham is. Especially the way Gotham is.
Okay, fair. That's the first one for me.
I
Usually
mean,
people go for year one.
and specifically with Hush as well, the whole like the way they introduced Falcone into it is very similar with the way they did Tommy Elliot and his father links with sort of and it's also a big story upon fathers, which the first one is a big story about fathers. As well, that Gotham feels pretty similar. And then not only that, we've got rumors that we might actually have Hush in the second one, play the villain in the second one. What do you think about that potentially?
Inshallah. Please.
Inshallah, bro. Inshallah.
Bro, Hush is like the perfect like villain for this kind of Matt Reeves like crime saga that he's making. It's perfect, bro.
Perfect.
It's
Perfect.
yeah, like yeah.
Perfect.
Like
And not only
the
that,
two
bro.
types of stories they're going for are like
Yeah.
Batman Bruce Wayne's like family heritage.
Yeah.
They allude to that in the first film
Yeah.
and like the crime and Gotham as a city in general.
Hmm.
Hush is like the best of both worlds when it comes to that story.
100%.
So
100%. 100%. And not only with Hush, also another great thing you can do is you've got such a off the bat, you've got a character that is so closely mirrored to Bruce and has such tie-ins to Bruce's history. So you already established like Robert Pattinson's origin without having to really establish his origin. And then
yeah,
you give weight for because one of the biggest criticisms, I mean not criticisms, because obviously it was done intentionally and 100% get it, where the Batman movie was purely just Batman, where like Bruce was not even a thing, where he was like he forgot how to be Bruce, he was completely Batman, and that's what that movie was. And I also think the second one is a lot of it is going to be about him trying to learn to sort of live as both, trying to detach himself from purely just being and Batman and letting it all consume him. And I think that lends itself to Hush because of sort of the oligarchical lifestyle of a Tommy Elliot and Bruce Wayne, and introducing his past to kind of show eventually where he might be towards the end of the film. And not only that, them introducing Joker just makes me think they're going to do Hush in the next one. Because why are you like because Hush is such a great villain because you can use the Joker, Riddler, Ra's al Ghul, all these guys in such sparing moments, yet so impactful. Like, no spoilers if no one's read the comic book, of course, but like when Joker shows up in Hush, he's barely in it, but he makes such an impact. He comes in, he changes the course of the story, and he's out. Okay, and if you want to use Barry Keoghan in that way, awesome. Bring in him, help him change the alter the plot, and then sort of don't over rely on the fact that you have the Joker in your movie. Same thing if you need the other ones. That's why I just think Hush is so perfect.
yeah, agreed. Yeah, like Reeves has like a big toy box to play with, so I definitely believe that he can pull it off. Again,
Huge
he's
toy box. Huge toy box.
yeah.
Are you a Game of Thrones guy?
Oh yeah, and bro, I have the Song of Ice and Fire books in front of me right now above me.
Oh, okay.
So
Never mind. So
yeah,
so apparently, talks coming out that Kit Harrington is apparently in talks to play Hush.
yeah, I'm down for that. Down for that. Yeah,
I'd be so down for that. I think right age for it. You can see him being sort of Robert Pattinson's contemporary. Do you know what I mean? It works.
oh yeah,
They can definitely be sort of like two sides of the same coin kind of thing. Yeah, I could so see that. And plus, it'd be such a new like avenue for a Kit Harrington because you feel like all he's played has been Jon Snow. Even when he was in the Eternals, kind of played like just modern day Jon Snow. Do you know what I mean? Just like
pretty
before.
much. Just like the good like knight figure,
Yeah,
literally.
before like obviously because he didn't. That's the peak thing. He didn't even become the Black Knight, bro. Like he was just touched the sword at the end, but like he was a nice guy that was that works at the university. But anyway, like this could be a really cool way for him to sort of like flex his muscles, show kind of a lot of his chops that maybe he hasn't really hasn't had a chance to flex yet.
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
Do you know
yeah.
what I mean? What are your thoughts on just the delays as well, man? Because we might, I don't know, bro. We might be like long married, six kids by the time we have this second film, bro.
No, wallah, bro. I told my friends that I'm like, bro, we're gonna be married by this point. There's no point. Like usually, if I'm excited, I'll be like, yo, okay, we have like a year and like 2 months, a year and 6 months. But I'm like, oh, there's no point counting down the days, man. Just when it happens, it happens. I'll keep my like excitement to a low point right now.
And usually, bro,
Um,
I'm like, usually I don't mind delays because I'm like, if a studio or like whoever kind of made the realization, oh, we need more time or we need to course correct, I'm like, sweet, sweet. If you feel like you can make it better, make it better. But it's gotten to the point now where it's like, I don't even believe you when you say you're coming out of 2026 because you delayed so many times. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Kind of becoming sort of like a bit of a Blade situation.
yeah, yeah.
You
Like
know what I mean?
the,
Where you're
with
like, how many
like
times are you gonna just tell me something and not follow through?
the annoying thing is, it's like what the movie came out in 2022, and there hasn't been a script yet. It's just mainly just concepts, like just
Yeah, like
pictures.
how have you not
I'm like,
landed
come
on a
on,
script yet?
yeah, like come on, like this is your job, no? Like I understand, like it's a long process making like a script and like screenwriting and stuff and revisions, but it's like this is like your main like this is Warner Brothers like baby right now, Batman. Like
Bro,
why is it
hundred
taking?
percent, 100%. And I
Yeah,
get, of course,
and
like
James
especially
Gunn
coming off
did
of the
say,
Penguin. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
oh yeah, true. I said James Gunn did say, yeah, it's like typical for like movies to take like 4 or 5 years, but like this is not the 80s anymore, man. This is like,
And not only that, it's like you're gonna lose so much steam. Like the first one came out what 2021. You want to wait for like so
yeah,
it's gonna be minimum 5 years between two movies. That's like, bro,
yeah,
even in the 80s, it was less time, bro. Like we got Empire Strikes Back 3 years after the first Star Wars.
yeah. Facts. There you
You know
go.
what I mean? Like the Nolan
Yeah.
movies, bro, 2000 what was it? 2005, 2008, 2012. Like even then, we didn't wait that long for another Nolan movie.
And we're out of COVID as well, so like,
It makes no sense to me. And then, but James Gunn loves reminding people like we don't announce things until we have a script. I'm like, bro, you announced the Batman 2 6 times and you haven't got a script. Like, how are you saying this? How are you saying these things and with a straight face? Come on.
yeah, no facts. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, right now I'm just keeping myself reserved. Like, I'm not like, there's no point thinking or getting hyped about it. Like, it's like with you watch anime or anything. You watch
I'm
anime?
slowly starting to get into anime because I was a very much I'm a cartoon kid. I grew up
Oh,
on
same.
a lot of cartoons, but I never really got into like the sort of anime side of things, especially
Yeah.
earlier on. But now I'm slowly sort of so I've caught up on Attack on Titans, Death Note, Last Airbender. But Last Airbender I also watched as a kid though. Last Airbender I also
Okay,
watched.
cool.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm thinking about. I don't know what to watch. Oh, I also watched JoJo's Adventure. What's it called? JoJo's Bizarre
Bizarre
Adventure.
Adventure. Yeah. Yeah.
That one's good. I like that one as well.
Cool. You got a lot. You've watched really good ones. I can't lie. But okay, for Attack on Titan, for example, season one came out in 2013. I remember watching that, and then season two came out in 2018, I think. And anime stand oh, oh, I thought you froze there. Anime standards, usually you get like a season, maybe 1 year off, 1 year later, 2 years at best. Well, this was 4 years, bro. Like when season two came out of Attack on Titan, I didn't even watch it. I was like, bro, I'm so burnt out from waiting. But when season three came out, then I got on back to the bandwagon of watching it. So, um, it's just one of them occasions where I was like, there's no point getting hyped for it. Same
You're
thing
like
with the
when it
Batman right
happens, it
now.
happens. I'm not gonna like allow myself to get disappointed,
It's like with Blade, like there's no point getting excited about it. It's just like when it comes
bro.
out, if it comes out, if it comes
If it
out.
comes out, literally, it's such a
Yeah,
big. If it comes out, bro. Just
yeah.
talking about Blade brings like bubbles my boils my bubble. What is it? Boils my blood.
It's such an
Boils
L,
my
man.
blood,
The
bro.
biggest
Because it's like
fumble.
it's such a fumble because I don't understand how Marvel can make a Guardians of the Galaxy movie and make not only make it but make it so well and like spawn a trilogy out of the bloody Guardians of the Galaxy. But you can't get a
Yeah.
Blade movie right. Like
I don't
make that
know. The
make sense
last
to me,
thing I
bro.
heard, the last thing I heard was they were gonna make it like a multiverse film. I'm like, what the hell, man? Just get any indie director, man. They'll
Literally, bro, get any
gladly
indie
like,
horror director, give them 30
literally.
million, be like, you got Mahershala Ali, make a Blade movie. Make a cheap,
There you go.
scary Blade movie. Go. That's
Yeah,
all you
yeah.
need. Do the Deadpool thing where they were like, they literally gave Tim Miller, they were like, listen, you can have 50 million max. We're not going to ask you any questions. Just do your thing. Literally, just
Literally,
do
there you go.
that. Do that. Go in the sort of like the Alien Romulus sort of trajectory. Why do you think Alien Romulus has been the most successful Alien movie since what Prometheus? Critically been the most successful since maybe the second one because they brought it down. What also Terminator needs to do, they kind of scaled down. It was like, okay, instead of like just focusing on like making this some huge sci-fi epic, let's go back to making this some scary ass horror sort of movie where people care about the characters and care about the stakes because we're sort of like, we're making this a lot smaller, condensing the story styles so that it's more sort of palatable and it's more sort of emotional and you can sort of like it's more at stake because of it as well. And there's so and you can let and Blade lends itself so much to that format. So it annoys me so much how they just can't get. I don't get how you can get it wrong so much, especially having someone like Mahershala Ali who's not getting any younger. Like he's not getting any younger. So how are you missing the mark on this film?
It's so jarring, bro.
So jarring. So jarring. Okay, moving on swiftly though. How are you with your Transformers movies? Like, where are your thoughts are? Are you a Michael Bay guy? Like, where are you at?
Bro, I like everything Transformers, man. Honestly,
Sweet,
the
love that.
cartoons, the games, the movies. Honestly, all of them, man.
Okay, so
Uh,
I'm with, right there with you. I wouldn't say I love all the movies. They've really tested my patience.
fair.
I would say like, especially like 3 and 4 were struggles.
Wow. I
Were
love three,
struggles.
bro. Four was a struggle, but I love three. Three's the best, bro. Three is the best.
Wait, which one was three? Is three of Rise Against the Beasts? Or what was it called?
No, three is the Dark of the Moon, the final Shia LaBeouf movie.
What was the
In
one where they
the
had swords?
the Last Night,
The Last
four and
Night.
five.
That's like five, is it?
Yeah, that's the fifth one. Yeah, yeah,
That's the fifth one. Okay, that's the second Mark Wahlberg run, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Yeah. No, all of them suck after the first one, bro. I'll be honest.
Wow.
Even the
Okay,
first
yeah.
one kind of sucks, but I've had such, and this is my problem though. It's because I had a good view on the first couple, like just because of like it was early 2000s and us being of that again the age of where watching it. I rewatched especially the first one like last year, and I was like, bro, this movie's doo doo. And like also watch that movie again, yeah. And every single black person in that movie, yeah, is either dancing, shouting, or eating, bro. That's it.
Hey, you know that at the beginning, hey, mommy, and then he gets the middle finger. He's like, ah.
Bro, literally, or it's Anthony Anderson like playing video games. Do you know what I mean, bro? It's like it's so in your face. Like it's Michael Bay is so in your face with it sometimes. But yeah, like, but the good thing about those movies have and always will be Shia LaBeouf, and him playing sort of that guy and like he's just very endearing. Over the years, he's been involved with a lot of stuff that maybe have made him less endearing. But nonetheless, there are a lot of strong rumors coming out that him, Megan Fox, and not only that, Michael Bay, and a way to sort of try and tie in Mark Wahlberg as well into one big epic Avengers-like Transformers movie. What do you think about that potentially happening? What do you think about potentially getting Michael Bay, Shia, Mark Wahlberg, and Megan back?
Take my money. Yes, 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 yes.
Take it. Give me 16 of them.
Literally, like with my relationship with these films, right? Like, I had the toys growing up. I watched the cartoons on like TV and Jetix and Cartoon Network and stuff. The movies, especially the first three, the Shia LaBeouf films, I loved as a kid. To be fair, I loved all of them as a kid, but when I became like a teenager and like when I got into like movies, I was like, yeah, I'm a cinephile now. These movies are trash. F
Yeah.
these movies.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
watch
yeah.
cinema, not these Michael Bay stuff.
And then
like,
later
I'm
you
older
come back
now,
to those movies and
and
you're
I'm
just like,
like,
come
I'm
back.
like, yeah, I'm like, these are amazing, man. Like they're very, I feel like they're very self-aware of what they are. Like they're there to just, they're like the textbook dictionary of blockbuster films is
Yeah,
Michael Bay's Transformers.
yeah.
Explosions, cars, girls, maxed out comedy, everything. Like
Tyrese, like,
Tyrese, yeah, literally.
like
Um,
literally.
and
Indulgence. That's
like,
Michael Bay. He does
yeah,
indulgence really well. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
if
yeah,
you like, do you like explosions? We're gonna give you the best explosions in the world, dude. Do you like tits?
yeah.
Well, slow motion tits, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? That's Michael
America,
Bay.
yeah,
Like
literally,
America, baby, monster trucks and monster energy. Like that's
yeah.
what I get from him. And bro, there's a time and place for it. Pain and Gain is such a fun movie to watch. I think. Like, I've got time for Michael Bay. I do, and I also got time for them coming back and doing this. I feel like it's cool that they get to have this sort of like quote unquote victory lap a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they can come back and be like, all right, a lot of time has passed. It's time for us maybe to like sort of like, take some of the flowers we deserve for creating this long-lasting 12-movie franchise now. That a lot of people
Mhm.
are still eating from today. So it'd be cool for them to be able to kind of like, yeah, have fun with doing that. Do you think the world is ready for Shia LaBeouf to come back into the limelight like that, though?
I think so. I think he's done enough movies for him to like separate himself from like what he was before. I don't know if
Yeah,
you've seen like Fury and that tennis movie he was in.
Fury is amazing. Yeah.
Like when I saw Fury, I was like, oh crap, he's actually a good actor. Like he's like legit.
Oh, bro,
So,
Shia LaBeouf is. I honestly think
oh
Shia
yeah, I
LaBeouf.
forgot. Flipping holes. Why am I saying that? I saw holes. Yeah, bro.
You've got to go dig those
Yeah,
holes. Yeah, bro. You know
holes.
we're
Yeah,
getting a
man.
Holes reboot.
Even Stevens. Oh yeah, I did hear about that as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very interested about that.
Yeah, we're getting a whole reboot. Bro, Shia LaBeouf has never not been a dope actor. Even in Even Stevens, bro. Like he was awesome in that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He was oh beans! Like he was awesome in that, bro. And I would attest that he might be, I think, pound for pound, just in terms of acting, the greatest like child actor turned adult.
Yeah, possibly.
Maybe only
Uh,
Leo, I would say, but I'd honestly like I find it hard to like, bro. Have you seen like Honey Boy?
I actually haven't, no. I've seen the
Man,
poster for it, but I
those
haven't.
you have. I would definitely recommend checking that out. Not only because you see him also flex as a writer and as an actor, like he plays his dad, um, which is really weird. But then it's you also kind of understand the man a little bit, and nothing is excusable. None of the things he does is excusable. But then when you watch Honey Boy, you're like, whoa, this little kid was really like he really he really went through the ringer, especially filming Even Stevens. He had such a mad time, um, and was raised really weirdly. But yeah, he's I think pound for pound, just in terms of acting, I think he's awesome. But I also think there is a world where there is a like welcomed return for a Shia LaBeouf. Don't know if it's now. Um,
Right.
I don't know if the vehicle is a Transformers movie. I'll be honest. I don't think the way back into people's like good graces is like boom, boom, explosion, explosion, Transformers, what up, Megan Fox? Like, maybe that is, and maybe I'm just thinking too much into it, and maybe a lot of people are going to be forgiving as hell, and they're like, yes, we want more Transformers and shove our face with carbohydrates in the cinema, and this is perfect, and we miss you and we love you. But I think maybe he needs to like come in through another like a peanut butter falcon or a honey boy, and then go back into your Transformers. Like kind of like again go back to doing it because you love doing it as opposed to like if you go back straight to Transformers it kind of comes across a little bit like I'm going for the check and I'm going for the do you know what I mean
Right, yeah. Fair
like
enough.
have you had a watch of like Peanut Butter Falcon bro so good man that's such a good Shia LaBeouf one as well 100%. What were you like where were your thoughts at if I could like leave you with anything from this video please go and watch Peanut Butter Falcon.
Okay, sure.
Please, yeah, for me, for me, bro. He's
Peanut.
so good in it. It's such a lovely film as well. But I just feel like that might be his best entryway back into sort of like people's good graces. Maybe come through something like that as opposed to just like, yo, I'm back in your like blockbuster sessions. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, cool. I'll add it to the list.
Add it to the list. Yeah, beautiful. How long is the list now, man? Because I got a lot of stuff I got to catch up on as well.
To be fair, it's more like whatever I'm in the mood for. The only things I really want to watch right now, like that I'm like, I should really watch that are the Rebel Moon director's cuts. That's like the only thing that's eyeing me. I don't know, it's just like it's just compelling. I don't know, I just feel like I'm in the mood to watch
Pelling.
it. I'm in a Zack Snyder movie, I guess. Um
Are you a big Zack Snyder guy?
yeah, yeah, big fan. I love his
Okay.
DCU, man. Love it. Like, yeah.
Fair enough, man. We need to talk about that. We'll get into it properly one day. I made a
Yeah.
lovely video with Iron Binge God. I don't know if you've seen his stuff as well. He's also a big Zack Snyder guy, and we were just sort of discussing. And a lot of you guys feel like I better probably feel a bit, but not butter is probably the wrong word, but a little scarred where it's like you're kind of rebooting something I love right now. So like, how are you? How do you feel about that? Just in general, curious.
I've kind of made amends with it. Like, to be fair, I'm extremely excited for James Gunn's like Superman so
Okay, cool.
much.
You're not
But
like
like,
team this, team that. Like,
oh no, I'm just like, I just want good movies, man. I just want good
yeah,
experiences. Like,
exactly.
I can have the best of both worlds, to be fair. Um, so yeah, like again, I know the Snyderverse from a perspective is not like for a lot of fans. Like, to be fair. But I just like his take on the characters in the world. Like, it's just the thing that I like.
Do you know what I
Um,
like about Zack Snyder's takes the most is, especially with like comic book characters, is he does give them like the godly feel that I feel like, especially with DC characters, they need. That I'll give him 100%.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
he makes them feel like mythology. Like Marvel movies don't really feel like old school mythology sometimes. But like Zack Snyder he gives you that like old like whether it's like old Celtic or Greek or whatever mythology where it feels like like these movies were like the people these movies are about people that were like ingrained in stone over years and years and years. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, facts. Yeah, like I don't know, man. Like I've kind of come to peace with the whole Snyderverse thing. Like again, I think there was just too many cooks in the kitchen. Like WB were going through so many different like changes, and
Yeah.
it was like just bad timing. It happened with Sony with the them films, with the TASM films. It happened with the Snyderverse films. It happened with there's a lot of franchises that never like finished. So
Yeah, or some that barely even started, like
the
Universal
dark,
Monsters.
the
Yeah,
monster films, literally.
yeah,
A lot of the X-Men franchises films got cut, like cancelled. Gambit, X-Force.
yeah.
Um,
Gambit, X Force. We were supposed to get solo like X Men Origins movies for like a lot of other X Men as well. That
yeah,
never
yeah.
happened. Like
So
First Class started off as a Magneto origin story.
I did not know that. Oh wow,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It started off as a Magneto origin story, and they kind of reshaped it into First Class, which I'm glad they did. I'm
Yeah,
glad they
no,
did.
yeah.
I mean, a Magneto movie would be cool. Don't get me wrong. I just think it was a good idea to sort of use that to kind of like reboot the franchise, like a soft reboot.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. X-Men First Class is like it's such a good film. I can't lie.
I
It's like
agree. I was such a fun movie as well. It really is. Like
yeah.
that was when Matthew Vaughn was like in his bag. Do you remember when like there was a period where all of us wanted Matthew Vaughn to direct everything, and now we're like, don't touch anything.
Wait,
It's
what did he
so
direct
crazy.
recently?
Argyle.
Okay, Argyle. I know, wasn't he like
Argyle was
supposed
the
to be on
one
like a
with
big
like
project right now?
it's the one with John Cena and Dua Lipa and Sam Rockwell and
Oh,
that stuff. Yeah,
oh, that film. Oh, okay, I haven't seen it, but I've seen like
Bryce
stuff
Dallas
about it.
Howard. Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then he also did the Kingsman movies.
There you go. That's it. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean the first Kingsman is great, and then the rest are not. Do you know what I mean?
that's such a wasted franchise, man. I feel like that would have been like one of those like mainstay franchises that would have been like
Yeah.
up there with like John Wick, like a
I
cult.
was literally gonna say a
Like
John Wick, bro. It has no reason why it
yeah,
shouldn't be. Like, if anything, John
yeah,
Wick shouldn't like John Wick in all like, and I'm so glad it is. But in terms of just like in all accounts, doesn't deserve to be a franchise. Do you know what I mean? Just on paper,
yeah,
where it's like it was Keanu at a time where Keanu was not what he is. It was also like very much in the style of like a Taken or like where they were also supposed to just kind of be like straight to video or straight to demand movies. Kind of took off and kind of became a bloody franchise, which is crazy.
yeah. I want more of that. I want more. I want less franchise, like less stuff that's based off other franchises, and just like have more independent, like new material in
Yeah,
Hollywood.
yeah,
Um,
100%, 100%. Because then we get to have stuff like I don't know. I love the Knives Out movies. Like I love the fact that we have a big kind of
yeah,
franchise that's like an ode to like those old Agatha Christie who done it. Do you know what I mean? I think that's pretty cool
yeah,
that we have
facts.
that and that people clamor for it and kind of go back to it whenever a new one comes out. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I
I think
mean?
Hollywood's just like in a very corporate state right now, and I'm hoping like if we just move on from all that stuff until we get like new, like cool, fresh projects.
Yeah, I feel like we'll always be remembering, we'll always be wanting that time, bro. But I just don't think I don't think it'll ever come. But I also think that like we're notorious, especially as movie fans, to romanticize periods that we're not in. So like we're gonna we're gonna look back now, and especially a time where we hate. Do you know what I mean? When like during the Fantastic Four movies, like the original ones, people weren't a fan of those at all, like at all.
Yeah,
And now we've got a bit of time with it. The people that were kids during that time grew up, and now like the sort of exactly, and now the kind of the narrative around those movies have shifted. And I feel like everyone right now, obviously that have like kind of become accustomed to like phase one and two, and three Marvel are like let down by what we're seeing now. But you never know. Maybe in 15 years, there are going to be these kids that come online and like, yo, Quantum Mania was the reason I started making movies. I doubt it, but you
fair
never
point.
know. So it's like, as movie fans, we're so good at like being like, the 90s was the best era of movies, the 70s was the whatever. But then while we were during that era, we would have been like, bro, this is crap. Like it's always the grass is always greener, and I feel like that's the same with movie fans, sports fans. Like it's across the board. Just it's human nature. I feel like sometimes.
Yeah, I think my thing right now is like if you're not a fan of films being made, just go and make your own film. Like I definitely feel there's going to be an indie boom, or like an indie boom's going to gonna kick off
100%.
very soon, or it's happening already.
Yeah,
Like you go on
100%.
YouTube, you see these amazing fan films, these fan animation films, and you're like, who needs Hollywood when like you can just go on YouTube and do your own
Exactly, man.
projects?
Exactly. Especially when like a lot of the times where it's like Hollywood are constantly searching for like a brand to accompany a movie coming out. Do you know what I mean? A lot of the time now, a lot of marketing is coming from like the days of like let's go on Jimmy Fallon or Conan or David Letterman or whatever to market our movies kind of dead, bro. It's like a lot of the
Yeah.
time now it's kind of reliant on either original YouTube content that have become like mainstay like marketing places for these studios, like a Hot Ones or like Last Meal or sneaker shopping or whatever. And then also it's like just the with the sort of self-sufficient branding of whoever's attached to the project. So like you got guys like Kevin Hart, Ryan Reynolds, The Rock, or whatever, who are Mark Wahlberg, who are brands in themselves, and the way they market their movies is also a reason why you cast them in their movies. And I feel like that's also turning into like that's also going to veer its way into sort of content creators or people with their own platforms and their own built-in brands who might not have had a chance to sort of like work inside within the industry or be back within the industry that has the opportunity to have their own backing. So when you have guys like, for example, stand-up comedians like a Stavros Halkinet, for example, who's able to like fund and get a production company to fund a short he did and make it into a feature film that later on gets picked up from festivals and then becomes one of a lot of people's like it was in my top 10 favorite movies of the year, which I would never have seen coming. Maybe the only funny movie that to come out last year. We had such a dry spell in comedies, so it's a thing of like a lot of these people are on the ground with us, where they're aware of what the culture needs and what their demographic wants, and it's on them to sort of self-produce and make it. And I feel like that's what the kind of ecosystem we're in these days. What do you think, bro? Especially coming from someone who illustrates and animates, it comes where it's like we kind of have to become our own movie studios. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100% facts. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, pretty much the same thing as you said. Like these next 5 years are going to be very, very interesting in this post like COVID age when it comes to, I guess, storytelling, movie making, anything creative right now. Um, yeah, I'm not really a fan of modern day movies, games, animation, and I think those three particularly. Because everything just feels corporate. It's like, okay, let's just see how many tickets we can sell. Let's use nostalgia as a bait to bring people back in the movie. We'll bring in like super obviously untalented. That sounds a bit rude. Like inexperienced writers on projects
Don't
that
worry,
they don't know
sometimes
nothing
super
about.
untalented writers as well. They're all
Yeah,
yeah, it's also super untalented writers as well sometimes. And writers who have given you a reason not to hire them multiple times and yet they still are being hired. Like if you wrote Madam Web, you should not get hired again, but yet you get hired to do if you wrote Morbius, you should not be hired again, but then you get hired to do the next Sony movie. Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah. Like, bro, I see so many like super talented writers that are like not in the business, and I'm like, bro, if Hollywood can just like if well, I wish I could just like grab you and put you there and like yeah, write a
bro,
great
I'm
film.
waiting on to be grabbed, Maggie. I'm waiting to be grabbed. But now,
Literally.
for real though, it's like a thing of like just also coming from it as like someone who counts himself as a writer and work them ways to be able to call themselves a filmmaker or whatever. It's a thing of like kind of have to rely on just being my own studio and cultivating whatever I can through whatever brand I'm able to create when literally everyone on earth is trying to create their own brand at the same time. It's pretty daunting and it's a lot, but it's at the same time, it's like it's the only way forward now these days, especially with like the way things are going, like how how also they're choosing to spend money on budgets as well is crazy, bro. Like where it's like there's no I said this on a podcast the other day where there's no middle class in society and in films anymore. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's either we get super 250 million on films that sometimes don't even warrant a budget like that, where you're just expecting loss because they think that if they pay 250 million, you're more inclined to make a billion. Where it's like not everything is Avengers Endgame. Do you know what I mean? It's like why are you
Yeah.
250 for a new Indiana Jones movie? Like make that make sense. So, but at the same time, you're also like completely removed that mid-tier budget of 35 to 50 sort of million, where it's like we don't get those movies anymore because they're too much of a gamble for studios. It kind of sucks. And I feel like the only way through that is, like I said, these like user content created like stuff. But yeah, man. Moving on to the next topic, bro.
That
I
was a
know
big tangent. I can't lie. That was a big tangent we were talking about.
just a
Yeah,
quick time, but we're back. We're back. We're back. We're back.
we're back.
All right. I know you haven't seen the original Hitch movie. Listen, I will tell you this really quickly, and it'll be like you've seen it. Okay, you've seen any rom-com ever in your life, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Once or twice, yeah. You've seen a rom-com before. Sweet. Okay, it's Will Smith plays this guy who teaches like men how to. It was just crazy because it's way ahead of its time looking back now. But he plays this guy who teaches men how to like talk to women and pull
I
women.
saw the trailer before I hopped on.
Okay, sweet. All right,
Yeah.
awesome. And it's like
He's
him
like the ultimate wingman, basically. Like, yeah,
exactly
like, yeah.
teaching Kevin James how to pull this girl that he likes at work, all of that kind of stuff. He ends up falling for Eva Mendes. The girl ends up obviously falling for Kevin James, and but she loved him for him the whole time. Blah 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 blah. And then Kevin's James and then Will Smith become really great friends because they form a beautiful friendship because that's the movie. You've watched it. How do you think? Do you like it?
Standard,
It's not bad, wasn't it? It's a bit long-winded in that second act, but it was okay. But my thing is, yeah, so like really this is kind of a non-story because like it's Hitch. We're getting a sequel to Hitch, cool. That's not the like if I'm be honest, if I want a sequel from a Will Smith movie, Hitch is not the top of my list, I'll be honest. I just think it's funny that we're getting, especially in this climate, we're getting Will Smith out here teaching people how to pull women. He's out here teaching us, putting us on the straight and narrow. And not only that, Hitch's origin story was that he got cheated on and then he became this player. I'm like, bruh, we can't do this. We can't do this. That's like saying, oh, you know who'd be great to play this like movie star turned murderer? OJ.
Oh man.
You know what I mean? Like it's like we don't need. Let's not do that. Let's maybe not do that. All right. If we're so obsessed,
I'm excited for this movie now.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Now there's maybe a level of intrigue, but it's actually crazy to me because they call two things really quick. The origin story of Will Smith, of the whole like getting cheated on and then like I'm gonna become the biggest blah 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 blah, is like really kind of like shows that maybe it was a lot truer and a lot sort of closer to reality. Because the whole thing is kind of built on this like really like shallow veil of sort of like insecurity. His whole thing is built up on this insecurity because he got like screwed over when he was 18. And it looks like we're seeing the effects of what happens when you kind of build your whole foundation on just like being an insecure 18-year-old. It kind of maybe bites you in the back a little bit later on. So it'll be fun to see. I'm hoping they take it where it's like Hitch is at a low point in his life where he slapped someone like in the middle of an event and he was kind of forced to not be allowed back in that event. And now he has to work his good graces back into sort of the industry that he's been scarred from.
Yeah, I'm sold, bro. You sold me. That was like the best pitch I've ever seen for
because like film. It's just because how else are you gonna approach a Hitch? I mean, like if you were to if someone was to be like Yusuf, we have the money. We have the money to greenlight one Will Smith sequel. It's on you to decide which sequel we're greenlighting. What? I mean, I doubt Hitch would be the one you go for, but what would you go for?
What's the zombie movie, man? Or like, crap, I'm going black. What am I thinking of Hancock?
I'm Legend.
I Am Legend. Yeah, that's it.
I'm Legend's a good one. I'm Legend's a good one. I'm Legend's a good one.
Men in Black.
I was gonna say I'd want another Men in Black.
That's a franchise I think needs like a bit more.
Bro, why did they? Do you remember the Men in Black? What they were supposed to be doing with Men in Black?
With Channing Tatum. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Why did we not get those?
That's such a cool premise, bro. It's so random. It's like something that I never asked for, but I want.
Exactly. It's one of them premises where it's like when you hear it and then you think about it for a second, you're like, of course, it makes perfect sense. It's genius. It really is genius. Because in the first one, you're like, they're making fun of the fact that they're like rebooting a TV show and all that stuff. it's such a fun entryway of being like, oh, well, of course we're 3 movies in. What are we gonna do? Go to space? Yeah, you guys are going
Yeah.
to space. Like that would be fun as hell. Having the interactions between that team and a Tommy Lee Jones and a Will Smith, that's gold. Like, I just don't see why they didn't go for it. And I feel like now there are rumors of maybe going back at the Jump Street world. I feel like we have to bring it into Men in Black. We got to.
I would love to, yeah. I'd love to see that. Again, I think the 21 Jump Street films are like another wasted potential of a franchise that never went anywhere when like money was there
I mean, it
for it.
made money.
Yeah. But
It
like
made
it could
money.
have they could have done more with it with only 2 films. Like where's the third film? Where's the fourth film? I feel like it could
I
have
mean,
been
technically, we
a
got like 12 more in that post credit. Do you remember the
oh
post
yeah, true,
credits for the
true.
second one
Yeah.
where they got like 12 of them? But those Jump Street movies were so good, bro. Like they were like, I'm so surprised we never got a third one because the second one made, if I'm not mistaken, I think the second one made more than the first one.
Like I remember that was like the the biggest I think that was like the first like big comedy movie I went to see in cinemas.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So it
feel
was
like it
like a
might have been
very
like the last comedy movie where I feel like was truly like culturally impactful. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah.
Where like back in the day, if there was like a big comedy movie out, like people in school would be saying the lines to each other, like it would
Yeah.
be part of the culture. Like My Name is Jeff was a big part of the culture. Do you remember? Do you know what I mean? When
Yeah.
that movie came
Yeah.
out, and like we don't have those moments anymore, bro. We don't have those quotable lines like from comedy movies that we're saying to each other or that we tell our friends or like doesn't happen anymore.
Bro, I can't even think of like a modern comedy classic right now. What's like the past 5 years that came nothing,
I
bro.
mean, and you gotta look for them. Like, I mean, the last 5 years, I would say good comedies are like, again, Let's Start a Cult by Stavros is a good one. A Saturday Night was a good one last year, but that was a biopic. The Bottoms is a good one. The Iowa Debris one. What else is good? Lisa Frankenstein was actually pretty endearing. Have you seen Lisa Frankenstein? That's the Zelda Williams, Robbie Williams, Robin
Oh,
Williams
okay. I know what you're talking
directed it.
about. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's actually endearing. It's got Cody, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
cool.
actually a endearing movie.
Intriguing.
And it's you can tell she's a big Universal Monsters person because like in that movie she's got a lot of like odes to like Creature of the Black Lagoon. Like it's really cool. It's really cool. But yeah, like no big sort of impactful like time shifting horror movie, comedy movie. Sorry, which
Mhm.
sucks. Which sucks. But yeah, anyway, a Hitch sequel is moving forward without its original director. Who the hell cares, bro? As long as we sort of can dive into the psyche of Will Smith, and maybe I'd be interesting. And also, if we cast Jada, let's bring Jada into this, bro.
Oh yeah, bro.
Bring
Yeah.
Jada into this. Bring his little nigga with the house on his head. Bring him as well into it, bro. Bring his daughter with the armpit hair, bro. Bring the whole collective, fam. We'll make a serious comedy. All right,
Oh
bro.
yeah.
All right, so that's the news for today.